G'day guys, how you all doing? Hope you're all doing well. As you saw in yesterday's video, I did the most overrated football boots. Now today I'm doing the most underrated football boots. Starting off today's list, at number 5 is the Nike Tiempo Legend Pro. Now the Pro, some might say, has kind of been overshadowed by the Elite, obviously, because the Elite is at that $270 price point compared to the Pro at $170. Some might argue that the Pro actually feels a bit more traditional compared to the Elite. The Elite having that elasticated fly knit tongue and that kind of vapor shape around the back with that quad fit, and then you've got that fly knit tunnel. It's just a bit too much technology and a bit too much material before you get to the actual leather, is what I'm trying to say. So with the Pro, it is more of that traditional feel. It's a premium calfskin leather boot that feels nice on feet, and it's got that nice soft supple leather touch that you've always wanted from a leather football boot. So for me personally, would I rather wear the Elite over the Pro? Definitely. It's an Elite boot, you pay for what you get, you're paying $270, you're going to get a quality football boot. Would I be upset wearing the Pros at $170? No, not at all. I would wear them all season and I wouldn't have an issue with them. I personally am not the biggest fan of leather boots because they are a little bit too plush and they do take away that feel of that barefoot sensation on the ball. But if you are looking for a traditional leather football boot, definitely go for the Nike Tiempo Legend Pro. Compared to the Elite, it just feels a little bit more traditional and what we've all been used to wearing as kids and growing up. So an underrated football boot at number 5 is the Nike Tiempo Legend Pro. Coming in at number 4 is the Puma King Platinum. Now this boot is super underrated. For me personally, it's probably my favorite leather football boot on the market right now. At the leather boot hierarchy, this one's sitting right at the top. If you guys remember the old original Puma King, I think they're called the Puma King tops now with that fold over flap. This is like a modern day version of that. It's basically got a 1-to-1 leather sensation, which is absolutely fantastic. It doesn't have any of that technology that you don't need. You don't need a fly knit tunnel. You don't really need quad fit in a football boot. It's just nice to have. Whereas this boot, it's just your traditional leather boot with this nice tongue that kind of fits like a sock, so it's nice and comfortable around your ankle. And yeah, the leather is super premium kangaroo leather, highly underrated. You know, most football boot shops don't even really look at Puma too much. It's all Nike and Adidas. But if you want something different, if you want a classic feeling boot with modern day technology, that is absolutely amazing. And for the price at 320 Australian dollars for kangaroo leather, it's not too bad. You can probably find them on sale because they haven't sold all that well. Definitely go check out the Puma King Platinum if you're after a leather boot with a classic feel but still has that modern technology that's not overdone. At number 3, we have the New Balance Tequila. Now some of you probably knew that this boot was going to be on the list because of how well the Tequila has done since taking over from, I think it was the Vizaro, which actually was the worst boot in history. Like, they were so stiff and just bad, and they ended up in outlets for literally 20 bucks and they used to retail close to 300. So definitely the Tequila's been a major upgrade, and if you aren't a fan of anything that Nike or Adidas do and you want something that's a little bit wider, because these boots actually, if you didn't know, they do come in 2 width sizes. So they do come, I think it's an E and a 2E. So the 2E obviously being nice and wide for all you people with wide feet that don't really fit in regular football boots. So if you are looking for something that's super wide, the Tequila is definitely for you. It does actually come in a leather and a synthetic version, which is nice to have. Now you can generally find the Tequilas on sale at most outlet stores. I think the first generation I've seen for as little as, I think, 40 bucks Australian in the New Balance outlet. I think that's absolutely a steal for a boot that retails between $250 and $300. They're definitely up there, one of the best boots, and they're super underrated. I would recommend going for a New Balance Tequila if you're looking for something different. Yeah, you can generally find an Elite boot that's on sale, so go check them out. Coming in at number 2, we have the Puma Future 5.1. Now for me, these boots are absolutely fantastic. I'm looking at getting a pair myself for this season, preferably in soft ground, because I do need a pair of soft ground boots because I know that this year is going to be an absolutely muddy one. Literally the parks and everywhere that I've been training at have just been absolutely flooded in mud, so I am looking at getting myself a pair of Puma Future 5.1s in SG. They're super underrated for me. Out of the box, they are probably the most comfortable boot that I've ever put on my feet. Literally, I slipped them on, I tried them on at the launch, and they were just absolutely amazing. They just molded straight away. I probably had them on foot for about 5 to 10 minutes, just juggling a few balls, testing them out, and they were amazing. Like, you could probably take those out of the box and wear them straight into the game, which I can't say I can do that with a lot of football boots. So the breaking time is literally so minimal. Put them on your feet, give them a go. Literally, you won't regret it. Definitely super underrated, the Puma Futures. For the price too, $280. Don't bother getting a Phantom Vision. Don't bother getting any old types of Predators, so the 19.1s, the 18.1s. Definitely look at getting the new Puma Futures. That's number 2 on this list. And of course, before we get into number 1, we have to mention some honorable mentions. And getting straight into it, I have to give the Nike Premier 2.0 a shout out, because I think for the money that they are super underrated. 120 Australian dollars. I think they retail for around about there, maybe even 130. But definitely give them a crack if you want a premium kangaroo upper with a traditional classic feel with that fold over tongue. They look amazing, they feel amazing. The only thing I can fault about them is that I just don't like the fit in the heel a little bit. That line is a bit too aggressive on the back part of my foot there on the Achilles heel. It does rub a little bit. That's the only thing I can fault about them, but otherwise they're pretty cool, and just the style of them's awesome. And over at Adidas, of course, the Copa Mundial, the classic football boot. Super comfortable, kangaroo leather, a little bit more pricey than the Premier at $220, but you can generally find them on sale for about $100 off. Definitely have a look at those, the Copa Mundials, if you're after something that's traditional and offers a premium kangaroo leather touch on the ball. Again, the only thing I can fault is that it is quite heavy, and it's probably the heaviest football boot that I've ever put on my feet. So Copa Mundials, honorable mention, as well the Premiers. Alright guys, coming in at number 1, we have the New Balance Future in the latest generation, and I think that these boots are absolutely fire. If someone said to me you can't wear Nike or Adidas, I would go straight to these Futures because they are absolutely amazing. They feel pretty similar to a Vapor, not exactly the same, maybe they're just a little bit more plush, but definitely give these a crack if you aren't a fan of Vapors and you want something that's maybe a little bit wider, if your foot just doesn't fit into Vapors, but you still want the same speed boot, barefoot type of vibe, then definitely go for these. I might even prefer these Futures more than something like an X, which sounds kind of interesting. They just feel so nice on foot. They remind me of the Vapor 12, so last year's generation, except the upper's just a little bit more soft and grippier. Definitely give these a crack. I think that they're amazing and they're super underrated. People don't even know they exist. They actually came out in a black leather version and a white version, so they definitely look so cool. And honestly, if Vapors didn't exist, I would probably go to these, and I love the colorways too. So yeah, that's my top 5 most underrated football boots. Alright guys, thanks again for watching today's video. If you liked it, make sure you leave a like rating down below. You hit that subscribe button while you're at it, and may as well leave a comment. Do you agree with my list? Do you disagree? Are there any boots that I've missed that should be on here? I know Under Armour makes some good boots, definitely Mizuno. Thanks again for watching guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm going to remind you again, I want to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Check out my giveaway that I am giving away those Puma Futures, and yeah, see you guys tomorrow.